Which equation is equivalent to x squared minus 8x minus 10 equals 0? We have these four choices, A, B, C, or D. Okay, we have x squared minus 8x minus 10 equals 0. I wrote a little bit bigger here, okay? Let's add 10 to both sides. We'll have x squared minus 8x equals 10, okay? Move that up here, and let's just start thinking about this. Now, if you cut 8 in half, what do you get? What's half of 8? 4. Well, what does a 4 have to do with it? Well, just pretend for a minute we have x minus 4, and we square that. What does this equal? What is x minus 4 squared? Well, you square something, you write it twice. And then you take x times x, and then the outside terms, negative 4 times x. Then the inside terms, you're foiling this thing, negative 4 times x for the insides, and negative 4 times negative 4 for your last terms. You're coming up with x squared, 4x, and 16. Now look what we're getting here. What's 4x and 4x? 8x? Huh? Isn't that what we started with? Do you see why we're cutting 8 in half? Say no. Well, let's just look at it a little bit longer then. Let's write down x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals 10. Okay? Now, I don't have a 16 right here. Do I? Really, my first equation, I shouldn't have that 16 there. I should say x squared minus 8x equals 10. But if I were to add 16 here, I want to add 16 to the right, so these really are equal. Okay? So I had x squared minus 8x equals 10. I add 16 to the left side. I will add 16 to the right side. Now, do you see why I want to write this x minus 4 squared? Do you see why I want to do that? Because look, this becomes, when you put 16 on both sides, this becomes what? And that equals what? Equals what? Okay, so we got there by cutting this in half, putting minus 4, figuring out if you square minus 4 you get 16. That tells me the number to put here and here. 16 here and here. Then, since you have x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals 10 plus 16, you can write this as this. Okay? And now we're getting closer to one of our answers. In fact, that may be one of the answers there. Let's go look. Yeah, answer A. That is the answer to this problem here. We call that completing the square. Now, you say, well, so what? So what's the use of this? Well, let me just show you. Go back to this back here. That was the answer to our problem. Okay? There's our answer. Now let's go back to this and see what we can do with this. Okay? If I take the square root of this, I'll get x minus 4. If I take the square root of this, I'll get a plus square root of 26 and also a minus square root of 26. So I'm getting one square function here, one quadratic function here becomes two simpler functions. Okay? And now look what I can do. I can add 4 to both sides of this equation, and I have solved it. Add 4 to this, it goes away. Add 4 to this. There's your 4 plus your square root of 26. Or adding 4 to both sides of this, you get your x here. If you have 4 minus 4, you add 4 to this, you're getting 0. If you add 4 right here, you're going to put a 4 right there. You'll have 4 minus that. So now we have solved this equation. So now you see the value of writing this equation up here this way. Okay? My answer is A.